The arena went silent. Every fan, every camera, every crew member froze in disbelief. What should have been another adrenaline-fueled Monday Night Raw match turned into a scene no one could have predicted. Seth Rollins, the architect of chaos, the master of the WWE Universe, lay motionless on the mat, his body twisted in ways no fan ever wants to see. The crowd erupted into gasps, shrieks, and cries, half in panic, half in prayer, all in shock. And then came the sight that broke the hearts of millions. Becky Lynch, the man herself, in tears, rushing to Seth's side, her expression a mix of horror, desperation, and heartbreak. This wasn't just an injury, it was a tragedy. And in the high-octane, high-risk world of WWE, tragedies like these are rare, unforgettable, and devastating. The moment set social media ablaze within seconds. Fans tweeted, posted, and shared clips of Seth lying on the mat, every movement monitored, every detail dissected. The hashtag Seth Rollins injury exploded worldwide. Every fan, from casual watchers to die-hard enthusiasts, knew that this moment would be etched into WWE history forever. The moment it happened, the match had been intense from the start. Seth Rollins, athletic, cunning, and relentless, faced his opponent in a brutal sequence of high-risk maneuvers. Every dropkick, every sling blade, every dive from the top rope had the audience roaring. But then, in a split second, the impossible happened. Seth attempted a high-risk aerial move, aiming to land with precision, and something went catastrophically wrong. The arena held its breath as Seth landed awkwardly. The collective gasp of the crowd was deafening. The cameras immediately zoomed in on his face, every grimace, every twitch of pain magnified for the millions watching live and online. It was clear this was no ordinary injury. Medical personnel rushed to the ring, but the world already knew the WWE Universe would never forget the sight of Seth Rollins, once invincible, now vulnerable and critically injured. Becky Lynch's heartbreak. Becky Lynch's reaction was instantaneous and raw. She sprinted down the ramp, tears streaming, her microphone forgotten, her focus solely on Seth. Fans couldn't help but feel her panic, her desperation, her love and concern for a colleague, a friend, and perhaps more. The cameras captured every detail, the tears, the trembling hands, the frantic gestures urging medical staff to move faster. Becky's heartbreak wasn't just for the audience, it was for everyone who had watched Seth rise from every possible setback, every past injury, every challenge WWE had thrown his way. Now, seeing him in critical condition, the reality of WWE's dangers hit home like never before. Fans erupted in chants of "Get him help," and Seth. Their collective emotion mirrored Becky's shock, horror, and hope for recovery. The crowd's chaos. The arena had transformed from a spectacle of entertainment into a theater of panic and fear. Fans who moments ago were cheering were now shouting prayers, holding their heads, crying. The mix of reality and performance blurred. Everyone knew this wasn't part of the show. This was real. Seth Rollins, one of WWE's greatest, had been critically injured in front of their eyes. Every camera angle, every slow-motion replay amplified the tragedy. The wrestling community collectively held its breath, debating what could have gone wrong. Analysts, commentators, and fans speculated endlessly. Was it a miscalculated move, a slip, or sheer bad luck? Every replay told a story of pain and heartbreak, and the WWE Universe was desperate for answers. Backstage reactions. Backstage, chaos and concern were at a peak. Wrestlers, managers, and crew alike were frozen, watching on monitors, whispering anxiously. The injury wasn't just physical, it was a potential career-altering catastrophe. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and other top WWE stars gathered, their faces pale, their expressions grim. Rumors began circulating. How severe was the injury? Would Seth Rollins ever return to the ring? Could WWE continue without their centerpiece? Medical teams worked frantically, and WWE officials made a clear priority: Seth's safety above all. The backstage atmosphere was tense, silent, and heavy. Every superstar understood the fragility of their own careers, but now, seeing Seth, even the most battle-hardened veterans were shaken to the core. Setting up the emotional impact. This tragedy wasn't just an event, it was a statement of reality. WWE fans suddenly realized that even their heroes were human. Every fall, every jump, every move carried risk. And Seth Rollins, a man defined by resilience and audacity, now lay vulnerable and critically injured. The emotional weight of the scene was amplified by Becky Lynch's tears, a living symbol of care, concern, and humanity in a world often defined by spectacle and performance. The arena remained tense as medical personnel worked tirelessly to stabilize Seth Rollins. Every second felt like an eternity, and every camera angle captured the emotional turmoil gripping the WWE Universe. Fans watched anxiously as their hero, once fearless and indomitable, lay critically injured in front of millions. The sight of Becky Lynch, tears streaming down her face, kneeling beside him, only amplified the gravity of the situation. Her hand shook as she touched Seth's arm, a silent plea for him to hold on, a testament to their deep bond both in and out of the ring. Backstage, the mood was one of shock and disbelief. WWE's top talent, from Roman Reigns to Cody Rhodes, gathered in small groups, their expressions pale, eyes wide with concern. Even the most stoic wrestlers, used to witnessing high-impact moves, were shaken. The sense of vulnerability was palpable. Seth Rollins, a cornerstone of WWE, was critically injured, and the consequences were uncertain. Rumors began circulating among the locker room. Could this injury be career-ending? How would it affect ongoing storylines? And more importantly, how would it impact the morale of the entire roster? Social media erupted instantly. Clips of the injury, Becky's reaction, and the frantic medical response went viral within minutes. Fans flooded platforms with prayers, messages of support, and debates about what had caused the tragic accident. The hashtag Seth Rollins injury dominated trending lists worldwide. Analysts, commentators, and fellow wrestlers shared their shock, emphasizing the severity of the situation and urging patience as updates awaited. Back in the ring, WWE officials and medical staff continued their meticulous work, ensuring Seth was stabilized before transporting him to a medical facility. Meanwhile, the emotional narrative unfolded before the audience. Becky Lynch, visibly shaken, spoke to the cameras, her voice cracking as she conveyed both fear and hope. Her raw emotion resonated with viewers, creating a connection that transcended the scripted drama of WWE. Fans felt her pain, her anxiety, and her unwavering support, making the tragedy all the more real and personal. As Seth was carefully moved onto a stretcher and guided backstage, the WWE Universe remained in stunned silence. Chants for his name echoed throughout the arena, a collective show of support that cut through the tension. Every fan watching knew that this moment would not be forgotten. The reality of wrestling's risks, the human cost behind the entertainment, and the genuine emotional bonds between performers were laid bare for all to see. The backstage scene remained tense. WWE executives convened emergency meetings to address the situation, while storylines and schedules were immediately re-evaluated. Becky Lynch's focus never wavered. She followed Seth closely, demonstrating loyalty, care, and a resolve that inspired both fans and fellow wrestlers. Her presence became a beacon of hope amid chaos, showing that even in moments of heartbreak, the humanity and solidarity of WWE superstars endure. Fans worldwide continued to speculate about Seth Rollins' condition, creating an ongoing dialogue that kept the tragedy at the forefront of WWE discussions. The combination of real-world concern, emotional depth, and the sudden, shocking nature of the injury made this incident one of the most talked-about moments in WWE history. It wasn't just a match, it was a reminder of the inherent dangers of the sport, the fragility of even the strongest athletes, and the profound emotional connections that define the WWE Universe. As Part 2 closes, the WWE Universe is left with anticipation, concern, and a collective hope that Seth Rollins, one of wrestling's most resilient and beloved figures, will recover. Becky Lynch's tearful support symbolizes the emotional weight of the moment, reminding fans that behind every spectacle is a community of athletes who live, struggle, and inspire. The tragedy has sparked conversations, debates, and prayers across the world, ensuring that this heartbreaking moment will be remembered, discussed, and honored for years to come. The stage is set for a dramatic recovery, potential return, and a deeply emotional chapter in WWE history, one that will leave an indelible mark on both performers and fans alike. Even after Seth Rollins was rushed backstage, the arena and the WWE Universe was far from calm. Fans sat in stunned silence, replaying the moment over and over in their minds. Social media exploded with speculation, concern, and an outpouring of support for one of wrestling's most iconic figures. Clips of Becky Lynch kneeling beside him, tears streaming, hands shaking, became the defining images of the night. She had always been the man, strong and fearless, but here, she was human, vulnerable, and the world felt it. The WWE Universe responds from Twitter to Reddit, from YouTube comments to fan forums, every platform became a hub of discussion. Fans shared theories: what exactly went wrong in the match? How severe was Seth's injury? Could this spell the end of one of WWE's greatest careers? But amidst the fear and speculation, there was one thing clear to everyone: Seth Rollins was a fighter, and fans were hoping, praying, and demanding that he rise again. Commentators on live broadcasts struggled to convey both the gravity of the situation and the respect due to Seth's career. The lines between performance and reality blurred. WWE had unintentionally delivered a raw, unscripted emotional moment, one that reminded fans that behind the spectacle, their heroes were human and vulnerable. Backstage turmoil and strategy. Backstage, chaos and concern were palpable. WWE officials, producers, and fellow superstars were gathered, assessing both the severity of Seth's injury and the implications for storylines. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and other top stars convened with urgency. Conversations were no longer about who would headline the next Raw, they were about contingency, safety, and the emotional impact on the locker room. Becky Lynch, refusing to leave Seth's side, became the emotional center of the narrative. Her connection to him, both in storyline and reality, elevated the tragedy. She was not just a bystander, she was a symbol of loyalty, love, and resilience. Her tears, anguish, and insistence that Seth be treated with the utmost care resonated with fans worldwide, creating a deeply emotional connection that transcended the scripted world of WWE. The impact on storyline. Seth's injury immediately forced WWE to pivot. Matches, storylines, and events had to be reshuffled. Potential rivalries were paused, alliances reconsidered. The ripple effect was massive. Becky Lynch, now emotionally intertwined with this tragedy, became central to every narrative moving forward. Could she seek justice or vengeance? Could her tears transform into fury and determination? Fans were left to speculate endlessly, keeping engagement high. The incident also opened the door for potential surprises, new rivalries, unexpected alliances, and shocking plot twists. Every fan, every insider, and every analyst knew that Seth Rollins' temporary absence or potential long-term recovery would reshape WWE's landscape, creating storylines fueled by emotion, loyalty, and the raw realities of wrestling life. The human cost of wrestling. At its core, this tragic moment was a sobering reminder of the physical risks wrestlers take night after night. Seth Rollins, a figure synonymous with resilience, creativity, and athleticism, was now a vulnerable human being in front of the world. The WWE Universe was forced to confront the emotional and physical toll of their favorite sport, making the incident unforgettable. Fans were united by concern, hope, and shared heartbreak. Every fan discussion, social media post, and live reaction reinforced the collective understanding the spectacle of wrestling comes with real-life stakes. And Seth Rollins' critical injury was a poignant, tragic illustration of that reality. Looking ahead as Part 3 concludes, one thing is clear: Seth Rollins' journey is far from over. Fans are waiting for updates, anticipating recovery, and imagining the dramatic return that is inevitable. Becky Lynch's emotional response, the backstage chaos, and the unprecedented fan reaction have created a foundation for one of the most emotionally charged storylines in WWE history. The tragedy, heartbreak, and raw emotion of this incident have left an indelible mark. Every fan, every performer, every insider understands that WWE will never be the same after this shocking night. Seth Rollins' injury is not just news, it's a turning point, a defining moment that will shape Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch's narrative, and the future of the entire WWE Universe for years to come.